Hey, how y'all doing? Hey, today is 50 for 50. I'm introducing this to you guys. 50 for 50, why? 50 years of me being on the earth and 50 tips. One tip each day that'll bless you guys, and just sharing some things that I've learned over 50 years of being on this planet that'll give you tools, tips, and things to help you excel in life and in business if you want. And if you don't know me, my name is Joe Detre. I'm the host of Leader Talk Podcast. I'm also a coach, trainer, and speaker, and author. Look, God bless you guys on this little journey of 50 days, 50 tips, and hopefully I'll do it in less than 5 minutes so you can get something to bless your day, carry in your day, a tool in your toolbox that'll bless your life. So God bless you, and hey, let's get ready for our next tip. Hey, how you doing? How you doing out there? Glad to see you guys are back. And man, today is an interesting one because it's changing our perspective on how we do things. Because in the scriptures, it says in 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 8 through 10, there's an interesting thing. It says that we're co-laborers or God's co-workers. And it's interesting because sometimes I was at a point like this in my life too. Sometimes we get a little frustrated with what we're doing. And in the words, I have to do this. This is what I have to do. This is, some of the things that I got to do or whatever the case may be. And sometimes you got to think about it. Am I saying I have to do this? I have to do that? And then we go into that project or we go to work with a sort of like a negative attitude, with an attitude of like, man, why do I have to do this? And sometimes we have to think about it. And I had to do that at one time. I would go into my workplace with just a bad attitude because I thought I had to do it. It was like, drudgery. But then when God reminded me, it's like, I get to do this. Joe, you get to go to work and be my hands and feet. Or at least, try to. And it's the heart of God for us to go wherever we go to make an impact, to bring a culture of change as best as we can. And when we go in there and we're reminded that we're co-laborers with God, and that wherever we go, we bring the atmosphere of God, good or bad. If we come in there with a bad attitude, guess what we're bringing in there? And people look at that and think of like, wow, is that the God you're serving? So when my mind changed about, I get to do this, it came a whole perspective. And especially for us that live in the United States, or you live in a country where you have freedoms and that you could choose different vocations and everything else like that. But when we have a perspective of the kingdom, and God's perspective, it's like, wow, wherever I'm planted, I get to go into this field and do the best that I can to glorify God, because we don't work for man, we work as unto the Lord. So we get to do this, just like now I have the privilege to come on here and talk to you guys about the things that I've learned, God has shown me and revealed to me, to help me to walk a better life, and have a better perspective on things. So pray about that. Ask God, like, God, how can I co-labor? How can I co-labor right now where I'm at so I get to do these things? I get to have the opportunity to co-labor with God and to share His goodness and grace, even in a place that I think that I don't want to be. But where can you share God's goodness and grace and what He's done in your life, where you're at right now? Because you get to do this. You have the opportunity to share God's love and grace. So hopefully this little, instead of I have to, I get to, changes their perspective and it gives you a little reflection on how God can work in your life today. So like I always tell folks, have a positive expectation of God's goodness in your life each and every day. God bless you guys.